Hey everybody, welcome to the Wednesday video of Fat 50 and running a marathon. I'm sorry for it being a day late. Yesterday was St. Paddy's Day, so you got to cut me a little slack. So, as I said, we are a day late, and I have I took this morning's, I have this morning's measurements as well as this morning's scale to report for the Wednesday weigh-in. I managed to gain 0.4 pounds over the course of the week, so now I'm up to 257.3 pounds. And while Nancy was doing my measurements, we discovered that I gained 2 inches in my waist. But we're not entirely certain that Nancy was measuring in the same place every time. Also, I have this really weird way of losing weight where I lose it disproportionately. So the reason that I'm dressed kind of, a little nicer than you might normally think of me dressing on this channel is that these are clothes that I picked up recently. In fact, this past week is when I bought them. This jacket, when I bought it, did not fit as well buttoned as it does right now, and I've owned this jacket for about a week now, it would be fair to say, and it fits better than it did originally. This shirt that I'm wearing is a 2X, as is this jacket. This jacket is a 2X, and a 2X by the manufacturer standards are a 50-52. Nancy measured my chest, found that I came in at a 50.5 basically, so we call it 51. But I am at a 2X. It means it won't be much longer before I'll be able to go to Men's Warehouse or other places. I'm not necessarily endorsing Men's Warehouse, but other venues that have bigger sizes without having to go to a full-scale big and tall men's store in order to find clothing that fits me. But as I said, this did not fit as well buttoned previously as it does now, and I could still lose a couple more pounds. But the point being that the clothing is fitting better, and I'm into smaller sizes. The 3X shirts that I have now are ballooning on me. Other things to address. Let's see, I'm more than halfway into No Starch March. Nancy says she's very proud of me. I actually have done a pretty good job of maintaining that. Yesterday while going out and eating breakfast, the place that we ended up eating breakfast, not one single entree was without starch in it in one place or another. And I was about halfway through my dish when I realized that I could have actually pushed a lot of the starch to the side. But about 2/3 of the way in, it did occur to me, and I did push at least part of the starch to the side that I was eating. Got gluten-free toast specifically for the purposes of not having wheat in my toast, so I'd be able to eat and enjoy that. And we had a good time walking around downtown Portland and other areas of Portland for St. Patrick's Day. It was productive, and we did a lot of walking, logged over 12,000 steps. And Nancy discovered that she likes walking more than she realized, and is probably going to be doing more of that. On a final note, what I have been studying this week is, in fact, not specifically related to health or exercise or even goal achievement, but it is in terms of learning. What I've been studying is the Japanese internment camps that happened in the 1940s during the Second World War. I grew up in a Jewish home, so I always felt that there was this sort of kinship to those who were lost in the Holocaust. It never really occurred to me that my own countrymen, the Japanese Americans, were interned in these camps, and there's been a real rise in anti-Asian violence lately. We still haven't found out the full story at the time of this recording of what exactly transpired in those Atlanta massage parlors that caused that idiot to go shoot them up, but it certainly would suggest that he has some very strong anti-Asian feelings. So what I'm trying to say here is that what I personally am going to do, and I'm not necessarily going to bring it back to these recordings again, but I am going to study and learn more about the Japanese internment camps, because those were my fellow Americans. And the truth of the matter is, during World War II, I had more in common with those people who were interned than I did with Jews who were interned in Europe. I just did. Those Japanese people, those Japanese Americans were my fellow Americans. And I'm going to learn about that, and I'm going to try and educate myself on that, and try and educate myself on my own prejudices, those that I'm even unaware that I have, and that's where my self-improvement is going at this time, is learning about atrocities that were committed to people who come from my own country, and learning from that. So this isn't a lot of health and exercise, and I promise that next week we'll get back onto that, but I just wanted to address that issue and say that that's what I'm focused on. And Remember, only by taking care of ourselves first are we capable of taking care of others. Until next week, thanks for watching. Topher.